This is a story about a time that I didn't feel like I was incognito, but other people thought that it might seem like I was incognito, which made me ask myself if I was incognito to myself. The situation was this. I was about to graduate from college, and my college gave out this grant that funded 1 year of travel to a student to do something entirely academic. It was 1 year of travel around the world as long as it had nothing to do with school. So I obviously applied for this grant. And I went in for the interview, and the idea behind my project was to go to meet people who claim to be God. So I'm explaining the project to the people in the interview, and they kind of stop me and they say, wait, so if you don't actually believe in these people who claim to be God, won't you have to kind of be sneaky? Like, so you're going to be like a spy to go to cults. And I was super offended because no, one, I don't like the word cult. I prefer the term new religion. Two, actually my second point in that moment had like a lot of college words that I don't use anymore, but the argument, I'm not a grad student. The argument that I made was something like, I love theater. And when people do things on stage, we don't call that lying. In fact, when an actor acts really well, we call that an honest performance. When people start tap dancing in a musical, we don't stop and say, hey, that's implausible. We say, wow, we roll with it. And there are places on earth where people do things that they claim that are hard for us to imagine here right now. So I want to go to these places and I want to roll with that like it's tap dancing in a musical. And that argument worked. I got the grant. The only thing you need to know about my life in between when I got that grant and when I actually left the country is that if you tell your family and friends that you are going to go join a bunch of new religions, they will all make the same awkward joke, which is some variation of, hey kid, do not drink the special drinks. There is no good response to that joke, but I didn't need to figure it out because I was leaving. So I'm on a plane to go to India. I don't know a lot about India before I'm on the plane to go there. What I do know is that when I get there, I'm getting in a taxi. I try and do some research on the plane. I watch some in-flight Bollywood movies. All of them feature carjackings involving taxis. I get there, meaning the plane lands. I get into a taxi. 3 very nervous hours, I arrive to my destination, which is this whole city that is built around this spiritual teacher. And this place is more than I could have ever hoped it would be. There's like incense, and there's people wearing all white, and instead of saying hello, we say a string of Sanskrit words, and there's lots of chanting. We're all chanting. And they gather us together, and we're chanting, and we're chanting, and we're chanting, and then the guru appears. And everybody goes, oh, it's a special day. She's brought us a present. And I look at the front of the hall, and the guru is this small woman holding a really large platter with a bunch of tiny metal cups filled with a mystery liquid. This is day 1 of 365. So everybody starts chanting, and they get in line, and we take a step forward, and it's like, Om Namah Shivaya. And I am super nervous. And I start coming up with these plans of how I can like drink the drink without actually drinking it. Om Namah Shivaya. And I think maybe I can like hold the liquid in my mouth and then spit it out in a bush. Om Namah Shivaya. But then I realize as I'm standing in this line surrounded by people who are trying to be holy, that doing that kind of subterfuge would be kind of sneaky. Shiva Om Namah. And I get to the front of the line. And they pass me the little metal cup. And I'll let you know that a few days later I actually was in the hospital, but that night I drank that drink, and it was just rice pudding. Thank you very much.